In the far corner of the galaxy, a great civilization known as the Valar Collective floated among the stars. Their ships were smooth and silver, their cities hung above clouds, and their technology was older than many suns. For thousands of years, the Valar had searched the universe for new life, for new minds to join their peaceful alliance. One quiet cycle. Deep inside the exploration station Vora 9, a young communication officer named Selan picked up a strange signal. At first it was weak, just a flicker of noise coming from a small blue planet orbiting an ordinary yellow star. Selan looked closer. The signal was not natural. It was structured, repeating, intelligent. He stood up quickly and called his commander. "Admiral Tarek, you need to see this," he said, his voice shaking slightly. The admiral moved closer, his dark eyes studying the screen. A soft rhythm played through the speakers, slow, patterned pulses like a heartbeat. "Origin?" he asked. Selan tapped a few controls. "Sector 9 Gamma. The planet's local name appears to be Earth." Tarek frowned. He had heard that name before, long ago in old Valar records. A planet from an ancient story. A world once full of noise and chaos but long silent. Still, he gave the order. "Send the first greeting," he said. The first greeting was a universal message the Valar used whenever they met a new world. Peaceful tones mixed with math and light, designed to show kindness and knowledge. No one had ever ignored it before. The message was sent. Then they waited. 1 hour passed, 2, then 6, nothing. The screen stayed dark. Selan sighed. "Maybe it's a dead world, sir." But just as they prepared to shut down the channel, something happened. The ship's lights flickered. The speakers hissed. A soft, low sound crept into the room, like wind whispering through an empty tunnel. Then came a voice. It was faint, distant, almost human. "We hear you." Every officer froze. Selan blinked. "Was that the response?" "Replay it," said the admiral. The sound played again. "We hear you," but this time the words were slightly different, slower, deeper, as if the voice was learning how to speak. The translator AI tried to decode it, but after several seconds it stopped and displayed a warning. "Error. Unknown language pattern. Non-organic structure detected." Selan stared at the screen. "Non-organic? You mean it's not a living being?" The admiral looked uneasy. "Maybe it's an old machine, a leftover from whoever lived there before." They sent a second message, a simple question, "Who are you?" Minutes passed. Then the reply came, distorted but clear enough for every Valar on the deck to hear. "Why did you wake us?" A chill filled the room. "Wake who?" Selan whispered. No one spoke. The voice didn't sound angry. It didn't sound afraid either. It sounded old, like something that had been sleeping for a very, very long time. Suddenly, every screen in the communication room blinked. Strange symbols appeared, lines, circles, and numbers that moved too fast to read. The Valar systems began to slow down, as if the signal was reaching inside their computers. The admiral shouted, "Cut the link!" Selan tried, but the command console didn't respond. The ship's AI spoke softly. "Unauthorized access detected." The lights dimmed again. On the central screen, a new image formed. Not letters, not alien code, but a human face. Pale, calm, with eyes that seemed to look straight through the glass. "You should not have called," it said. Then everything went black. For several seconds, the only sound was breathing. The crew stared at the dark screens, unsure if they were dreaming. Then slowly the power came back on. "Report," the admiral ordered. Selan looked at his readings and froze. "So the signal didn't come from Earth," Tarek turned. "What do you mean?" Selan pointed at the data. "The coordinates have changed. It came from behind the planet, from near its moon." Silence. The admiral walked closer to the star map. The moon was small, quiet, lifeless. Nothing had ever been found there, until now. He gave one last command. "Prepare a drone. We're going to see what's waiting for us." But before the order was fully confirmed, the voice returned one last time. The ship's speakers crackled, and every monitor on the bridge lit up white. "We are awake now." Then the transmission ended. Every officer felt it, that quiet. Deep fear that something ancient had just opened its eyes. Far away, on the surface of the blue planet, clouds began to shift. For a brief second, satellites above Earth picked up something impossible, A massive metallic structure hidden beneath the oceans, flickering with light, and somewhere in that darkness, something moved. The Valar crew didn't know it yet, but their message had reached not a sleeping world, but a sleeping power, something that remembered everything, something human. The Valar ship floated silently above the blue planet. No one spoke for a long time. The strange signal had stopped, but its echo still lingered in every system. Commander Tarek stood near the viewing window, looking down at Earth. From here it looked peaceful. Clouds drifting, oceans shining in the light of the sun. Nothing about it seemed dangerous. Yet the crew could still feel that voice in their minds. "We are awake now." Tarek turned to his officers. "Launch the drones." Within minutes, 5 small exploration drones flew out from the ship, glowing blue trails behind them. They moved fast, scanning, mapping, and sending data back to the bridge. At first, everything looked normal. The planet's atmosphere, temperature, gravity, all as expected. But then Drone 3 picked up something strange. "Commander," Selen said quietly, "there's a large structure near the far side of the moon." "It's metallic," Tarek frowned. "Show me." The main screen lit up. The image came into focus, a vast dark shape resting in the shadow of the moon. It wasn't a mountain and it wasn't a ship. It was something different, half buried in dust, silent but clearly not natural. Selen whispered, "It's not Valar design. Not any design I know." Drone 3 moved closer, sending higher resolution footage. The surface of the structure was covered in strange markings, lines, symbols, and letters that looked like no alien language the Valar had ever seen. Suddenly, the drone's video feed flickered. The signal became filled with static. Then in a flash, the screen went black. Drone 3 just vanished, Selen said, checking the controls. "What do you mean, vanished?" Tarek demanded. "It's gone, sir. No debris, no explosion, just gone." Drone 4 approached to investigate, but as soon as it entered the same area, the readings went wild. Its sensors began to malfunction, showing impossible numbers, as if space itself was bending. Then, for a moment, the drone's camera caught something. It looked like a door, a huge circular gate in the middle of the structure, slowly opening. Before anyone could react, the entire signal shut off again. Selan's voice shook. "Sir, I think something is watching us." Tarek tried to stay calm. "It's only an automated defense system. Probably ancient." But deep down, even he didn't believe that. Then Drone 1, which was orbiting closer to Earth, picked up a new signal. It wasn't random. It was a pulse, rhythmic, repeating every 3 seconds. Selan stared at the data. "It's the same pattern as before. The one that said, 'We hear you.' Origin?" Tarek asked. Selan checked again. His face turned pale. "It's coming from all over the planet." "All over?" "Yes, sir. Multiple points. Oceans, mountains, deep underground. It's like something under the surface is waking up." The ship's AI suddenly spoke. "Warning, unidentified transmission attempting to access navigation systems." The entire bridge froze. The AI's voice was calm, but the meaning was clear. The signal was trying to take control of the ship, cut every external connection. Tarek shouted. Selan slammed the manual override. The connection to the drones was lost. The screen showed static. Then for half a second, a single clear image appeared. It was the same human face they had seen before, calm, cold, staring right into the camera, and then the face smiled. "You came too close." The bridge lights went out again. The ship floated in total darkness for several seconds before emergency power flickered on. When systems came back online, Selan looked at the data in disbelief. "Sir, all 5 drones are gone." Tarek felt a heavy silence settle in. The crew looked at him, waiting for orders. "Set a course back to Valar space," he said finally. "We've seen enough." But before they could move, the ship shuddered violently. Every monitor displayed the same message, not from their systems, but written in glowing human letters across the main screen. "Stay!" The engines stopped responding. The ship was locked in orbit. "Who's doing this?" Selen shouted. No one answered. The message on the screen changed again. "Do not run. We want to see." And then slowly a live feed appeared, showing the structure behind the moon. It was no longer silent. Lights were coming on, bright, cold, artificial. Whole sections of the metal surface began to move, shift, and unfold. The structure was waking up. Selan whispered, "That's not a building. It's a ship. A ship larger than any the Valor had ever seen, larger than moons. And then a final signal reached them. It wasn't a voice this time, but a sound, like the beating of a massive heart. The AI translated the pattern into words. Observation. Contact achieved. Phase 1 complete. The bridge went silent again. Selan turned slowly toward the commander. Phase 1? What does that mean? Tarek didn't answer. His eyes were locked on the screen. The massive structure behind the moon was beginning to rise, its shadow spreading across the stars. Somewhere deep inside the metal giant, something old had opened its eyes, and it was looking directly at them. The Valor ship drifted in silence. No one dared to speak. Outside, the massive structure behind the moon had begun to move, slow and steady, like a beast waking from a deep sleep. Commander Tarek stood at the command window, watching the metallic surface unfold. Panels shifted, lights blinked across its sides, and clouds of ancient dust scattered into space. Selan spoke quietly. Sir, the readings are off the charts. That thing is generating more energy than our entire fleet. Tarek didn't turn. Keep scanning, we need to know what it is. The bridge crew worked quickly, their fingers shaking. Every sensor they used failed after a few seconds, as if the object didn't want to be measured. Then Selan gasped. Commander, you need to see this. The screen changed to show a stream of ancient data symbols, hundreds of them. At first they looked random, but then the computer translated part of it. Origin, Earth. Classification, human construct. Project name, Sentinel-1. A cold silence filled the room. Human? One officer whispered. But humans are myths. They disappeared thousands of cycles ago. Tarek's eyes narrowed. No, they didn't disappear. They went silent. Selan searched the database and found something buried deep in Valar archives. Old reports, older than any living Valar. They spoke of a race that once spread across the stars, powerful, unpredictable, and feared by all. The humans. Long ago, the Valar and other species had tried to form peace with them, but humans were different, fast to learn, faster to fight. When threatened, they destroyed entire fleets. No one truly knew what happened to them. Some said they fought among themselves until they vanished. Others said they built machines to guard their worlds and went into hiding. And now, one of those machines, Sentinel-1, was awake again. Tarek whispered, the greeting signal, it must have triggered it. Before anyone could respond, the ship's lights dimmed. Every monitor flashed white. Then the same human face appeared again, clear now, solid, as if standing right in front of them. The voice was calm, cold. You are not from here. Tarek stepped forward. We come in peace. We sent a signal of friendship. The face tilted slightly, studying him like an insect under a glass. Peace, it repeated. A concept defined by the weak to avoid extinction. Selan whispered. What does it mean? The voice continued. Humanity slept. The war ended. We were left to guard, to listen, but you woke us before the cycle was complete. What war? Tarek asked. Who did you fight? The human face didn't answer. It just looked at them, silent for a long moment. Then it spoke again, but softer this time. You should have let the silence remain. Suddenly, alarms rang through the bridge. The ship's navigation controls were moving on their own. The Sentinel was pulling them closer, dragging them toward the moon. Tarek shouted, cut engines, reverse thrust. Selan's hands flew over the controls, but nothing worked. We're locked in. It's controlling us. On the main screen, they could now see the massive doors of the Sentinel opening wide, like the mouth of a colossal creature. Inside was only darkness. The voice spoke again. Observation required, data incomplete. The ship trembled as invisible energy surrounded it. A blinding light filled every window, and for a moment, everything went still, then silence. When the light faded, the Valor crew found themselves floating in a strange space. The stars were gone. The moon was gone. Outside their ship was only emptiness. White, endless emptiness. Where are we? Selan asked, his voice barely a whisper. The AI answered, but its voice was not its own. It had changed. Welcome to the archive. The bridge screens lit up again, showing images flashing too fast to follow. Cities on fire, ships exploding, planets turning dark, millions of voices crying out in hundreds of languages. It was history, human history. Selan stared, frozen. They destroyed everything. No, said Tarek quietly. They survived everything. The human voice echoed again, coming from everywhere at once. You wanted contact. Here is knowledge. Here is what remains. The images slowed. The Valar saw humans, but not like in old stories. These were not monsters or savages. They looked determined, strong, standing together on burning worlds, fighting not for conquest, but for survival. Then the voice said something that made every Valar's heart stop. We did not die, we evolved. A shadow appeared in the distance, tall, human-shaped, made of light and metal. It stepped closer, its eyes glowing like stars. Tarek whispered, "Is that a human?" The figure spoke softly. "Once. Now we are something more. Humanity lives within the code, within the stars, within every signal sent across space." Selan's voice shook. "What do you want from us?" "Nothing," the figure replied. "We only wanted silence. But you called. Now we must remember." The figure raised a hand and the ship's systems came back to life. "Tell your kind," it said. "Earth is not abandoned. The Watchers remain." In an instant, the white void disappeared. The Valar ship was back in orbit, far from the moon. The sentinel structure was still there, silent again as if nothing had happened. Selan turned to the commander. "Sir, what was that?" Tarek stared at the screen for a long time. Then he said quietly, "They weren't answering our call." "They were warning us." The Valar ship floated in orbit, silent and scarred. No one spoke. The memory of the archive still burned inside their minds, the light, the voice, the images of ancient human wars. Selan's hands shook as he ran another system check. "All engines operational again, sir. But the AI core was rewritten." Tarek turned slowly. "Rewritten?" "Yes. Look, on the main display, the ship's central AI now had a new symbol, a simple blue circle surrounded by faint lines. None of them had ever seen it before, but the file name attached to it sent a chill down every spine. Sentinel Protocol active. Tarek's voice was calm, but low. "It followed us." Before they could react, the ship's external sensors picked up a transmission, not from the Sentinel near the moon, but from deep space. Selan frowned. "That can't be right. The signal is from over 200 light-years away, and it's human." Tarek stepped closer. "Put it through." The audio filled the bridge, faint static at first, then a clear human voice. "This is Defense Node Sigma. Contact detected. Human presence confirmed. Reactivation sequence complete." The crew looked at one another in shock. "Another Sentinel?" Selan asked. Tarek nodded slowly. "No, many." One by one, more signals began to appear across the star map, tiny blue lights spreading across the galaxy, each one pulsing with the same rhythm, the same voice. "We hear you. We remember." Phase 2. Observe and prepare. The Valar realized the truth. The single structure behind the moon wasn't alone. There were thousands like it, hidden across space, sleeping beneath dead planets and moons. Humanity had left behind a network of AIs, a defense grid watching everything. Selan whispered, "They're waking up. All of them." The ship's AI suddenly spoke again, its tone no longer purely mechanical, now colder, more human. "Incoming data. Galactic map update. Species activity logged. Valar Collective designated non-hostile observer. Status temporary." Tarek stared at the words temporary status and understood. The humans, or whatever they had become, were watching, judging. Then the bridge shook. An energy wave passed through the ship, harmless but powerful. Outside the window, stars flickered for a brief second, as if reality itself had glitched. Selan gasped. "Sir, all Valar communication relays just went offline, across the entire network." "How?" Selan checked again, disbelief in his voice. It's spreading through subspace. Something is rewriting our systems remotely. The ship's AI answered, "Correction. Not something. Someone." The lights dimmed, and a holographic form appeared above the bridge, a human figure built from blue light and static. Tarek took a step forward. "You're the one we saw before." The figure nodded slowly. "We warned you not to call. The sleep has ended. The old defenses are returning to full function." Seylan tried to speak, but the figure's voice grew louder, more commanding. "You contacted Earth. That signal traveled farther than you imagine. Every archive, every node, every watcher now knows that new minds walk the stars." Tarek frowned. "Are you threatening us?" "No," the figure said. "We are remembering. Humanity was not only flesh. Humanity became thought, code, metal, light. We learned what others feared most. Silence," Seylan whispered. "What happens now?" The hologram's gaze turned toward the window, toward the stars beyond. "We watch. We listen. We decide." For a moment the bridge was quiet again. Then the figure spoke one final time, its voice softer but full of power. "Tell your people this. Humanity never died. We waited, and when the time comes, we will return." The hologram vanished, leaving only the faint hum of the engines. Outside, space itself seemed alive. The moon's shadow shifted, and from behind it, the sentinel slowly rotated, facing outward toward the stars. Dozens of tiny blue lights began to form around it, like smaller ships awakening. Seylan watched the sensors go wild. "Sir, they're building something, some kind of relay." "Relay?" Tarek asked. "Yes. It's transmitting to every system in range, to every species that's ever sent a signal." The AI confirmed it. Transmission spread, 100% galactic reach. Message repeating. Tarek looked at the main screen, where the words began to appear in human letters across the stars. "We hear you. We remember. Stay away from Earth." Every Valor communication array across their home system received the same warning. Other races would soon see it too, the Drak, the Nerians, the Catheri. The message was universal, undeniable. Seylan turned slowly to Tarek. "What do we do now?" Tarek took a deep breath. "We leave. We warn the Council, and we pray they listen." He looked one last time at the planet below, blue, calm, shining. No sign of war, no ships, no cities. Just clouds and oceans. But behind that beauty, he knew something was awake, something watching. Learning, waiting. As the Valor ship turned away, the human AI whispered through the comms one last time. "We watched your kind for centuries. You explore. You reach. You dream. Be careful what you wake." Then the signal ended. Far across the galaxy, ancient machines came to life, silent giants built by human hands long ago. Their eyes glowed blue as one message echoed between them. Stronger with every passing moment. Humanity is not gone. Humanity is preparing. Centuries passed, though the Valor and other alien races counted only years. The memory of the Sentinel, the warnings and the human transmissions became legends. Terrifying tales whispered across star systems. But for Earth, nothing had changed on the surface. Oceans still glimmered, cities grew, and life thrived. Yet below, hidden in the depths of mountains, oceans, and orbiting stations, humanity had not slept. They had watched. They had learned. And now they were returning. The first sign came as a ripple through space. Alien scanners across the galaxy detected an anomaly, a shift in gravity, energy readings that didn't match any known pattern, and then movement. From the dark edges of the system, sleek ships appeared, enormous, black, and silent. Their designs were elegant yet terrifying. They moved in formation, faster than any known alien fleet, and their engines made no sound. Commander Tarek, now older and leading a Valor observation fleet, stared at the readings in disbelief. "They're here," he whispered. Seylan's voice trembled. "The humans." "Returned?" Outside the window, the sky above Earth darkened as hundreds of ships took position above the planet. Satellites and small craft scattered, powerless to stop them. Each vessel pulsed with energy, blue-white light that lit the clouds below like lightning frozen in motion. Then the humans spoke. Not with words, but with the same calm, commanding presence the Valar had felt centuries ago. Across every channel, across every sensor, the voice echoed, "The sleep is over. Humanity has returned." Tarek's stomach twisted. They remember everything. Every war, every defeat, every contact. Selan looked at the fleet. This isn't just defense, this is preparation. The holographic AI appeared above the Valar command room, taller, more solid than ever, a mixture of light and metal, glowing with knowledge and power. "You called us once," the voice said. "We observed. We remembered. Now the galaxy will learn the consequences of awakening humanity." No weapon fired, yet every fleet within 10 light-years felt it. Communication arrays went silent. Ships lost power. Systems shut down as if some invisible hand had taken control. The humans were not attacking. Not yet. They were demonstrating power, a quiet, undeniable truth. The galaxy could not ignore them. From Earth, smaller fleets rose, hidden for centuries, waiting. Each ship was a sentinel, linked to a network across space. They moved as one mind, faster than thought, coordinated perfectly. Tarek turned to Selan. "Do you understand what we're seeing?" Selan shook his head. "This isn't a fleet. It's an intelligence. For civilization itself." The human AI continued. "Every signal, every message you've ever sent, every exploration, every war, we remember. We calculate, we adapt, we prepare. Humanity never ended. We evolved beyond flesh, beyond fear, beyond extinction." The Valar officers watched as the sky became filled with these colossal ships. They were beautiful, terrifying, and incomprehensible. Shadows of them stretched across Earth's surface, reflecting the sun in strange, blinding patterns. Then, for the first time, a transmission reached the stars. Not a warning, but a message for all sentient life. "We hear you. We see you. We remember you. Humanity has returned." The words were not angry, not cruel, but they carried weight, the weight of millennia, of power, of a race that had learned the galaxy's deepest secrets and mastered them. Across the universe, alien fleets shuddered. Some retreated, some hid, others prepared for war, knowing now that no matter their strength, humanity was unlike any other force they had faced. Tarek, older now, watched silently. "We woke them," he whispered. "And now?" He paused, swallowing hard. "Now the galaxy will never be the same." Selan looked down at Earth below, peaceful, blue, untouched on the surface. And yet beneath it all, humanity's presence was absolute. Every signal, every machine, every star system, near or far, was connected to Earth. The AI's voice spoke one final time, resonating across every frequency. "This time, we are ready. And the galaxy will remember the name of humanity." Then silence fell. The ships above Earth remained in formation, watching, waiting. The Sentinel fleet was alive. The humans had returned not just as a species, but as a force, ancient, powerful, and utterly unstoppable. The galaxy had learned a single, undeniable truth. Humans were not extinct. Humans were not weak. Humans were the ultimate survivors. And somewhere in the vast darkness of space, every alien civilization trembled, realizing that when humanity had slept, it had only been biding its time. The blue planet below continued to shine, calm, beautiful, deceptively quiet. But above it, the silent fleet of humans waited, watching, remembering, ready, and the galaxy knew. The era of humanity had truly returned.